Patrick?
Josh, you said you guys struggled in some areas. How do you want your team to respond to this game? How do you want them to react to how they played today?
Listen, the job for us is to be the best football team on the field every Saturday. You walk off the field and you see the scoreboard and you either accomplish that goal or you didn't. We got to come back in. We got to learn, reset, and grow from it. Certainly, as we head into conference play, we're going to need to be better than we were tonight. Are we capable of doing those things? Yeah, absolutely. They're really small things. Some of our things at wideout, we've seen those guys operate, function, and handle all of that at a really high level. So, urgency in how we come back tomorrow afternoon and on Monday, I think it is absolutely critical for us. I'll say this: I didn't feel like we were unfocused last week. We got to take strides. Obviously, the environment will be a good one next week and a good quality opponent.
Josh, the passing game, it looked like it was a lot of short stuff, quick stuff. Was that what Joe
some
was
of
doing?
it.
Was it Joe? Was it the receivers dropping some pass earlier? Or was it what they were doing defensively?
There's a combination. There's times where we were pushing it down the field. We were a little bit off. In particular, early in the football game, there's some things situationally where we were off. Joe, wide receiver, combination of both things where we're just not in sync in some critical situations. Third down, we got to be better than we were tonight. You got to be able to sustain drives, and you got to score points in the red zone. Turnovers, not getting a fourth down. There's a lot of things, the penalties there that took us out of those field zones. So there's a lot of things that we can control and do at a higher level.
David?
Josh, you'll hear the adage of improving the most from your first to second game. Were you surprised that you didn't see more improvement? And was there an area, too, that maybe you can definitely, I know you hadn't looked at the tape yet, but you can definitely say we were better than this last week?
There's some things that we did really well tonight. You look at defensively after the first series, there's some real positive things. Offensively, efficiency and effectiveness, right? Like it takes 11 guys operating as one. And there were times tonight where we're two guys off, and that's how it ends up looking a little bit like it did tonight. I believe in our guys, believe in our staff, believe in what we're doing. We'll continue to get better.
Josh, some of your receivers were held out here and there throughout fall camp. Do you feel like maybe that's contributed to a slow start these first two games for them?
I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like we've been really effective and been on the same page at times during the course of training camp, and we're just a little bit off here, in particular early in the ball game. We got to do a better job of settling into the game early.
Right here.
So each of Jalen Wright and Jabari Small each got 13 carries a pop. Can you kind of speak to what that running back rotation was tonight and what the plan is moving forward?
Yeah, at the end of the day, you're going to see all three of those guys. You're going to see some of the run guys as our young guys as the season goes on. Inevitably, guys get nicked up, and believe in that entire room. But those three guys really feel strongly about. So you'll see them rotate.
David?
Aaron Beasley had 5 tackles for loss. Can you just talk about his performance?
Yeah, I thought he tackled extremely well. He was violent. I thought you saw his speed, athleticism on some of his pressures affected the quarterback. Had sack. Thought he played really well here tonight.
Jeremiah Thielander got a ton of runs in the second half. Seemed like he was pretty active. It's kind of what you saw out of him tonight, his first action.
Yeah, a guy that we have great trust in, that's athletic. He's going to continue to grow and develop as a young player, but, believe that he can play at this level. And he got out there and did some really positive things tonight.
Casey, then Ben?
Charles Campbell comes out, Tennessee guy, first field goal of him in the orange and white, not just gets 1, but gets 3. How exciting is that for you to watch him do that?
Yeah, a few more than we want him to get, but love Charles, and really confident guy. It matters to him. This opportunity matters a great deal to him and his family. He's a great teammate and really confident guy, and we're extremely confident in him too. So happy that he performed the way that he did, made a difference in the football game.
Josh Josephs would have had 2 sacks if you don't accept that penalty. Just what did you see?
Great, thank you.
Thank you. What did you see from him that allowed him to take a step from week 1 to week 2?
I'm definitely going to hear about that now. Listen, Josh has got length, athleticism, has continued to grow in who he is off of the field. his best football, man, it's still out there for him. We got great trust in him. Excited to see him come back and have a better day than he did a week ago. And, that's the kind of growth that we need from everybody on our football team that we're capable of here as we continue to go through this journey, and certainly next week when we go to Gainesville.
Patrick, then Brent.
Josh, how did Joe kind of handle the start? Obviously, he didn't come out like you guys would have hoped, and I'm sure he would have hoped. How do you kind of see him handle things during the course of the game?
Yeah, I thought he was calm. I thought our sidelines in general were calm. We got to get into the flow of the football game, and that can be Joe, driving some of those dig routes. It can be us going up and making a difficult catch. It can be great ball security out on the perimeter. I haven't seen the video, but I guess we probably need to get our hands inside on some of the perimeter blocking too. So.
You mentioned, Coach, you mentioned the fans, being into it after the delay. How did you handle that with your team? How do you think your team handled it? And how do you coach your team to settle in to a game offensively?
The fans did a great job. How did we handle it? There's nothing that you can do other than, hey, like, here's the situation. Here's when the expected moment of when we feel like we're going to have an opportunity to go out. Here's what you need to do in the meantime because of an extended break, coming off the field. That's rolling out, it's hydration, it's fueling. And then here's the plan as we go out. And at the end of the day, it's nothing that you've practiced, right? And your players got to handle it in a good way. Your coaches do too. Thought we communicated what we were going to do in a good way. There's some things that we did really well early in the football game, but offensively, I don't think that that's the reason that we didn't function as well as we're capable of early in the football game.
So how do you get them to settle in?
Well, it can be on us, making sure that we try to do some things specifically to get the personnel to fit in to the ball game early. Some of us, it's them, releasing some of that anxiety, energy, nervousness, whatever it might be, and settling in the game.
Rob, then Adam.
Coach, we spent pretty much all of August asking you about your pass rush, and 2 weeks in, you get 7 sacks, a couple guys with 3 issues. Evaluate that part of your defense.
Yeah, one of the areas that we've been intentional in having to address, that's some of the guys that have come in, and the development of those guys with Coach Garner, Coach Eckler, their ability to affect the game, not just on pressures, but the front four, and we've done that. Now we're going to go play a better opponent next week. We got to do that on the road. But for us to be successful defensively, we're going to need to continue to have that from those guys. And the depth of that group is a strength for us right now too.
Josh, it looked like having to do some pitch and catch on short passes just to get some rhythm in the passing game. Were the vertical shots there to take, if you could take them?
Some of the deep over-the-top shots were not, but there's some things in the middle of the football field that were wide open that we did not execute. Brew caught a nice deep dig in the second half on drive where we got going. Those are things that were open early in the football game. There's some yard. No, we threw some of them too. And we missed them on the throw. We dropped a couple, and we got a shot down the field, and we busted protection too. Like, offensive football and defensively too, but like offensive football, you got to have 11 guys operate at a really high level and do their job. They got to operate as one, and we're capable of being better than we were tonight at that. But I got great trust and belief in these guys for sure.
Reese in the back, then Eric on the side. How do you keep a guy like Ramel Keaton's head up and confidence up after the fumble when he was beating himself up pretty hard?
For me, one, like, reset to the next play. We talk about that next play mentality all the time. Perfection in this game is never going to happen, individually and collectively as a football team. Have you seen Ramel make a bunch of plays out on that football field? Yeah, I have too, right? So he's fully capable. He'll be ready to roll here as we get going, but we got to get him there real quick, and not just him. All of our guys can settle into it. Listen. You work for something and you want something so much sometimes that, it can be a hindrance too. And our guys relaxing, enjoying the moment, and settling into the games where we got to get to.
On the 9
moment where the vertical passing game might not have been there the entire time. How good was it to see Brew McCoy really springing McAllen Castles at the end zone there?
Yeah, great screen. Callie does a great job on the run, keeps his balance, but Brew's effort, energy, strain, blocking the guy all the way to the goal line. Like that's who he is. That's who our fans, see. It's who his teammates see every single day. He's a great teammate.
Some of those holding abilities, could that be because the wide receivers are aggressive and trying to block?
Trying to make sure I don't do anything I'm not supposed to. So.
All right, thank you, Coach. We'll have players shortly.
Okay. All right.
Players will
See y'all.
All right, we'll start player availability here with Aaron Beasley and Jabari Small. Please raise your hand for questions, and I'll call on you. David, we'll start with you.
Aaron, you had 5 tackles for loss tonight. Can you feel those numbers racking up when you're out there doing that? And how much fun was that for you?
I really couldn't feel it, but I know I was just out there having fun with my guys. Having fun playing ball. That's all I was really feeling.
Patrick and then Ben.
Aaron, with Keenan going out, obviously, or being out, you take on a bigger role. You've got some young guys playing next to you now. What changed for you this week, knowing he's not going to be around for a little while?
Really just, interchanging with both linebacker spots. I'm having to play the Mike and the Will now, so that's really the only change, just having to pick up a little more load of playing the Mike and the Will.
Are you expecting to even have to play more snaps even than you were or expecting to?
Whatever the coaches think is best, just doing what they ask.
Jabari, Coach Heupel talked about the offense needing to get into a flow earlier in the game. What needs to happen for you all to get into a flow earlier in the game?
I think just executing, regardless of what we're running or passing. I think we just need to execute. If everybody does their job early on and often and just settle in, I think we'll be better. I think we'll be fine.
Austin.
Aaron, Jeremiah T-Lander got a lot more run tonight. What did you see out of him in his first extended action?
Yeah, man, T-Lander's a dog, man. I've been seeing it since we started ball. He can play a lot. He can play some ball. He's a dog, and I expect big things from him for sure.
What specifically did you see tonight that made you feel that way?
Just his relentlessness. You can see his aggression when he's out there playing, flying to the ball. Just a dog mentality when he's out there. I see that from him.
Brian.
Jabari, you mentioned you get settled in faster. Do you sense anxiousness or overexcitement or anything like that with the offense, pre-game, start of the game, or anything like that? Does it feel different?
I don't sense anything, but I think just being back in Neyland in front of the fans and just the first and home game, I think it's obviously some jitters, but I don't think it was anything different from last week. Just settling in. It's the second game of the year, so everything is still new. This is a new team, so we're just finding our identity still.
Anybody else? Caleb and then Vince.
Aaron, you had a couple of sacks where you blitzed right up the middle. What was the defensive line doing to kind of open up that gap for you? What did you see on those plays?
Really, we were just doing our job. I know one of them, they went 5-0, and we had 5 on the line, so I was really the free blitzer on that play. So the D-line always does a great job, just doing what they're supposed to do, taking the blocks away from me, so I'm able to, squirt through.
Vince and then Ben.
Got one for each of you. Jabari, talk about Joe. Obviously missed some throws, especially early. How did he kind of handle sort of that slow start for you guys offensively?
Yeah, first with Joe missing throw, I don't know if it was missing throws or the timing with the receivers off. That's something that they can always work on, as well as in season, as well as in the off season. But he handled it like a pro. He's bounced back, was very vocal, and he just kept leading.
Aaron, how surprised were you that he can get that fumble and return when replay had to stand?
I was kind of surprised. It looked like he got his steps in, and it was a fumble. But hey, it is what it is. Next play.
Ben and then Patrick.
Aaron, those young edge rushers had another big game. James Pierce and Josh Josephs today. Just what have you seen from them these past 2 weeks?
Yeah, just their maturity, really, bro. They come to work every day. No matter the kind of game they had, they're still, eager to get better, eager to improve. So I think that's the biggest thing, just the maturity level and how they carry themselves week by week.
What have they been able to add to the defense with the way that they've played the last 2 weeks?
Just versatility, I say, just knowing we can count on those guys to, get some pressure off the edge.
Patrick. Jabari, what's the confidence level like for the running backs right now? You guys had another productive night, you and Jalen in particular.
You said, could you ask that again?
Running backs, just the confidence you guys have now.
Oh, the confidence. Yeah, for sure. We put in a lot of work. We would like to say that everything starts with the run game and the running back. So throughout the week, we prepare, we strain, we work hard, we push each other, and I think it shows on Saturdays. And I think we've all grown and we start playing early. So we know the things we need to work on, and just playing with confidence is one of them.
Adam.
Jabari, you said earlier that you guys are still trying to find your identity. Do you think your identity should be different than what it was last season, which obviously worked?
I wouldn't say it needs to be different, but it's a different team. So I don't know what that is, but obviously we know this is a different team. We don't have the same type players, but people step into different roles and fill up different spots on the team as far as different leaders on the team as well. So it's a different team in general. I don't think it needs to be different, but it's not the same team as last year.
Anything else? All right, I think we'll have a couple more here. We'll finish player availability today with Joe Milton and Wesley Walker. Please raise your hand for questions, and I'll call on you guys. Brent, we'll start with you.
Yeah, Joe, Coach was in here, I guess, for the second week talking about needing to get settled in, get in a rhythm offensively. What is it with your offense that you guys need to do better to get settled in and get off to a better start?
I feel like coming out there from the jump and just executing what's going on, not letting no moment get too big, just going out there just to execute. Don't think about anything else. Just do your assignment at a high level.
How do you feel like you started the game today? How did you play to start?
I just start my best, but it's not about the start. It's about the finish.
Well, Patrick and then Mike.
Joe, what do you guys need to do to get the passing game a little bit more? And seeing it's kind of 2 weeks in a row now, you guys.
Just go to practice and execute. Go hard every day, no matter if you're tired or not. Just go out there and execute.
Do you say anything to your receivers when the drops happen, or you kind of let them handle it on their end?
Nah, in this offense, you kind of need like at least 5 seconds to, if you're on the sideline, you need at least 5 seconds to go back and just talk to yourself for a few times. No matter what, but at the same time, I let them know that they're the best receivers in the country. So keep being y'all, keep doing what y'all do, and just go execute, man.
Mike.
Joe, what did go better when you guys turned to kind of a short passing game there early in the first quarter?
I feel like guys just started doing their assignments at a high level. It didn't start off the way we wanted to, just because it was Austin Peay, and you can't look at teams like that. You have to go out there and dominate every play, no matter who was out there.
Vince.
Joe, you guys have been utilizing the short passing game a lot. What do you like about what you guys can do with that short passing game?
I feel like it get things going. I feel like if you're a defense, you have to run sideline to sideline to make a tackle. I feel like that's something that your defense coordinator is preaching to you. So in order to do that, I'm going to keep pitching it from sideline to sideline.
Casey in the back.
Joe, last week, Jacob Warren had one catch, and it was a touchdown. Today, McAllen Castles had one catch, and it was a touchdown. What have you seen from Castles and his ability so far this season?
Those two guys are willing to work no matter what. I feel like throughout the weeks, we preach to those guys that the ball will come your way. We know you guys block a lot, so just be patient. The ball will come your way. Just stay true to it.
Ben.
Mostly just, how would you assess where the defense is at going into the conference opener next weekend?
I feel we had a pretty good place. We coming together. We just lost Peely, but we got some young guys ready to step up. And contribute to the team, contribute to winning. We got some stuff to clean up, just little small things in terms of like fits, but I feel like we headed in the right direction for sure.
What do you see from those young linebackers today? T-Lander, Elijah, kind of stepping up and playing more snaps with Peely out.
Yeah, I was happy to see them play fast. They wasn't really, worried about, messing up. They were just playing fast, and that's what you got to do, especially in SEC play. You got to play fast so people can play off you and just make plays.
Vince, then Patrick, and then Adam.
Wesley, just how high of a level is Aaron Beasley playing on right now?
I think he's one of the best backers in the country for sure. Best backer I want to play with for sure. And he come to work every day, practice hard every day. It's really not a surprise seeing what he did. I know y'all seen how he capped the year off in the Orange Bowl. So like that's the player he is, and he put it on film every Saturday. So that's the player he is. That's his resume.
Patrick.
Joey, there was a play in the third quarter on a run where you kind of went down, maybe stayed down for a moment afterwards. Were you okay? Did something happen there?
I'm good, man. Let's go to the next one.
Adam.
Joe, was there any concern that anybody took the opponent lightly or considered the level of the opponent?
It may start off that it looked that way, and maybe you guys may think like that because of the score, but at the same time, we'll go in there Sunday. Throughout it all, at the end of the day, 125 guys, just been on the same page. It don't matter who's out on outside. We're gonna go in there and figure it out ourselves. And, we're gonna reevaluate and go execute. That's all that matters.
We'll go Reese and then Wes.
Wesley, when Kamal Hadden got a couple of PIs, I'm back here, man.
Oh, my bad.
When Kamal Hadden got a couple of PIs, but then he got that interception. For a DB, how relieving is it after you get a couple of PIs, you get an interception?
That's just, that's part of competing. It's gonna be some penalty stuff you gotta clean up for sure. But him getting a pick, just first turnover, like first real turnover of the year we had, I think. Just good momentum swing. Get the ball in our hands. It's just, it's a good sight to see. It's contagious too. Everybody, after you see one pick, everybody want to pick. So, it's just good. It's in contagious energy, and that's what we want to do.
Wes.
Joe, when opponents are clearly trying to, take away those sideline vertical shots for y'all, and they're kind of making you play a little bit more in front, and y'all like to go score fast, you like to make those big plays. Can it be frustrating? I mean, you're trying to manage the game, obviously, but is it tough to not want to take more shots when the defense just won't give them?
Nah, I think that's why we got a three-headed monsters back there. I feel like they do their job at a very high level. Even when the pass game not going well, just how I started off in the beginning of the game, those guys ran the ball very, very hard. And, they were very decisive with their cuts, and they made plays. That's why we believe in those three guys, and they go make things happen on Saturdays.
So Vince, Patrick, Ben.
Joe, what's your communication in game with Nico in terms of him being engaged, being another set of eyes for you? You guys talking about what's happening there?
Yeah, I just give him a couple of keys to ID for me while I'm out there, just because I can't see everything. So just having an extra set of eyes other than my coaches out there, and also just he young, so just giving him an opportunity to see things how I see it, and just in a different way. So when he go out there, it's not confusing to him.
Wesley, you had a sack on the fourth down. What did you kind of see on that play? Was it a call for you to blitz? Did you?
Yeah, it was a blitz. Good call, good play call by Coach Banks. Really, I contained blitz. He ran outside, so I just got him.
Ben and then John.
Wesley, what have you seen from Josh Josephs and James Pierce these 2 weeks, and what are they able to add to the defense when they're playing the way that they are right now?
Yeah, they two long guys, two physical guys that know how to get after the quarterback, and we need that, especially we going into SEC play. Just two guys that we know, we confident that we can just roll in and out. We got a real deep D line, and they're two big parts of it as well.
John.
Joe, I know you got to spend some time with Condredge Holloway this week. Just what has this week been like for you? And then wearing the 7 today in Neyland and the Smoky Grays. What has this week been like for you getting to spend time with them?
Every other week. It's not about. Shout out to Condredge, but at the same time, I feel like everything else outside of the team and the facility doesn't matter. It was an honor to him, and we're truly honored for that. But at the same time, it's about going to work with 125 guys every day, and just approaching the field and having my mindset correctly on the football game, nothing else.
Austin, and then we'll finish with Ben.
Wesley, you're on that back end. What are you seeing out of Omar Norman a lot? Because he feels like he's, very active.
Yeah. One thing I don't know if y'all know, like he one of the main guys I see in the facility. Like he in the facility working on everything. He do totally different stuff that you see. He just really a hard-nosed worker, and he he got real good feet for a big guy. So he got good hands and hand placement, know how to use his hands. He a real good rounded football player, and we gonna need him as well. I know y'all see him make plays, but he gonna make a lot more plays this year too.
Joe, this is obviously a big week for you, SEC play, going back home to Florida, and I know you kind of did it with the Orange Bowl, but how do you keep your emotions intact this week and not let the game become bigger than it is?
The game is never bigger than it is. I feel like when you prepare the right way, I feel like everything else is going to take care of itself. Tomorrow, you just reevaluate what happened. Monday, and you go back to work. Nothing that happened tonight matters after Sunday. So go back home and you execute. No matter where we're at, we're just going to execute.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
No
problem.
There's currently a lightning